There's no purpose to denying the auteuristic genius of Japan's Ozu, although I am sometimes compelled to question his appeal in the English-speaking world, not to those who celebrate film composition itself, for there are few auteurs prior to Ozu as precise as Ozu, and only a dozen at max since. Rather, to those who relish in emotional drama and appeal to collective humanity, a proposed purity of naturalistic soulful interactions, I always cynically suspected that a vague Orientalism motivated this assessment in the English-speaking world. I want to celebrate another, more holistic culture than the consumer climate of the modern English-speaking world, and via films which decidedly consider the impact of Americanized mass production lifestyle upon a location presumably immune to ephemerality. I do firmly believe that the random, initially interested, whether they realize it or not, viewer of an Ozu film, if they caught one on television one night, would be completely sincere. When he is named as the finest filmmaker or one of all time, and evidence of one's finer sophistication to the average viewer of blockbuster fare, even if it is, frankly, the appeal of Ozu to those who name themselves as admirers can sound hollow. But they do cut through. Who can deny their power unless as a reactionary scoff against the aforementioned cinematic prudes? Late Spring I used to think of as one of my 2 or 3 favourites from Ozu, and it probably still is. One of the great lead performances of all time, male or female, no point qualifying it, one of the finest directed dramas of its decade, or of the entire black and white era, and competing with a film very recently discussed on this series, The Third Man, as the best feature of the 1940s. I had claimed The Third Man itself might have been the best film from that decade. Currently one of the best and most comprehensive Wikipedia articles on any feature film, I was in partial awe before it. I need not add to this film's discourse unless I could uniquely. And I'm not convinced that I can. Ozu's work, insofar as they depict human interactions, seem to speak for themselves, even if certain unique cultural contexts are not known to particular audiences. I do sometimes snarkily wonder if Shukichi managed to maintain his ruse for an extended period of time, whether Noriko would have found out upon his eventual passing, perhaps, and how she would feel about that. But the film is about the build-up to a scene where Shukichi has to vocalize his choices to another subject, articulating in words what he has done. It isn't about Shukichi's life story or Noriko's. It is about Shukichi justifying his actions and why it was such a dense, challenging moment of human-parental interaction. We learn of Noriko's loyalty and devotion to Shukichi, who she is to those around her, why she would be so hesitant to leave her remaining parent, and how he is able to persuade her to move on from him. It is vital to demonstrate Noriko's character and why she would refuse to leave her father's presence, how she might or does feel happiness when she pursues her own volition, even independent of her father. Her fondness for Satake, despite the marriage being arranged, is quite palpable. What it would take for her to truly leave her father's place, him remarrying as well as her own betrothing, and depicting a bond so strong between a parent and child, even as adults, that the parent is willing to deceive in order to enhance his daughter's future and independence, as he sees it. Maybe it's not entirely empowering by today's standards to contemplate an arranged marriage, that's to be absolutely certain. Perhaps the film is more of a criticism of certain cultural concepts than I am inferring here, but in any instance, it is fundamentally a film about the process leading up to its final sequence. It is a genuinely poignant demonstration of the function and insight of dramatic storytelling itself.